Hey everybody, my name is Ruben Mauricio, Class 8, Twinkles. Man, we just been really busy, man. We've been blessed and got a lot of good support from the PEP network, man. I mean, this is awesome to see everything I've always wished for is coming true. So it's just beautiful, man, finally to see how hard work does pay off.
Okay, well, most of these guys who are watching know that you're the winner of the B2B. We've kind of had that video out, your story out circulating. But what we wanted to talk to you about today, because we're talking about PEP from beginning to where we are, and in this segment, we're talking about the full program. And many people don't know the history of Leadership Academy. And because you were one of the brilliant minds, probably the driving force behind effective leadership, which today is Leadership Academy, is why we wanted you on today. And I think one of the things that I want to know is what was going through your mind at the time you felt like, you know what, we need this piece for our guys to be better and more effective.
All right. I think, man, what it started from with me was realizing, man, that I needed to be 100% into this transformation. And when I came to accept that I needed to be 100% in, I needed to take a hard look at myself in the past to see what made me the man I was at the time that I made that decision. And then, after reading a lot of books and listening to a lot of mentors coming into PEP, I realized, man, that I couldn't do it by myself going into the future without any role models or people to look up to. So I put that together and I was like, man, I need to do some really hard soul searching. And then from there, I need to make the adjustments so I can, navigate to a better future. So that's where it came from. Was just the need. It was really I was just done of playing games with myself and my past. So that's where it came from.
Cool, cool. I vaguely remember a slight debate that you and I and another graduate had immediately after graduation, and in thinking about that debate that we were having, and thinking that you're the guy who created Leadership Academy, and I was like, when did that light go off? Because I don't know if you remember, but you and I and Grishon was having a
Hmm.
conversation about change,
Hmm.
and he, of course, wasn't agreeing with what I said, and you were kind of like, well, I think it's something different. You remember the conversation we were having?
Not really, man. She's been so long.
Because it started out because my opinion was we have to do different when we get out and be different.
Oh, yeah. Hmm.
And you were kind of like in the middle, mediator what we had going on. Long story short, I think he ended up back in prison with 80-year sentence with that same mindset. And to think that
Yeah,
you sit here, the driving force behind Leadership Academy, I just want to say thank you.
I
Uh,
appreciate it, man.
First, for you getting to the point to where you realize, I have to do something different. But then realizing this is something that all the brothers can use. And
Oh
what
yeah,
it's grown through today and what it's continued to grow through based upon your initiation, again, I thank you.
I
And
appreciate it, man.
now the brothers are able to put a face and really understand that this was us by us, not
Oh yeah,
PEP the organization, but PEP participants who created this concept.
oh yeah.
Uh, Tell them a little bit about your business for the guys who didn't see the B2B. Give them a little bit about what's going on with you in business.
Well, man, shoot, I saw a tremendous need over here in West Texas, and I stumbled into it by accident, but I took advantage of an opportunity. And over here, man, the oil fields are booming, and even right now with the price of oil, how it hit an all-time low, and COVID, there's a lot of question marks going on, but it's proven that the oil field is here is here, and you can't do away with it. So I saw a big need, and then I just happened to land myself in a place to where they were needing mechanics, and I just started picking it up, man, as much as I could, and then we started a RPM diesel service, and so we're strictly mobile, and we go to our customers, and it turns out, man, they love that. They love us going to them. They'd rather us go to them than them take their trucks to a shop where it's down for 2 weeks, a month. So it's a win-win situation, man. We go to them and fix their trucks on the spot.
Okay. You're also one of the participants in eSchool 2.0, right? eSchool 200,
Hmm.
which is going to be available to a lot of guys after they complete eSchool and get serious about their business. How's that going?
I think we completed that already. We
Oh, you
finished,
completed
was
it?
it 14? Was it a 14 class deal?
Okay.
And we
Okay.
just finished, I think, 2 weeks ago.
Okay.
Man, that was awesome. I mean, it was good because you get to spend a lot more time with the, like, just all the participants who are in it, but also with a lot of mentors, man, to give you a lot of good advice on the spot as you need it. So it's like detailed just or catered just to you. So as we're going through the course, I would have a lot of questions pop up that I needed answered right now. And man, I could just ask the questions, and these guys, man, would just give me awesome advice.
Cool, cool,
So
cool.
it's beautiful, man. I think everybody needs to be a part of that, especially if you're in the business or seriously planning to start a business. You definitely need to take this course.
Okay. Like you're doing well in life. Look like you're still making one bad decision, man. That's a Dallas Cowboy hat on your head.
And you don't want to see my belly either, man. I just keep eating and eating and eating. No, no, everything's been really good, man.
All right.
I'm just
One,
happy
one,
to be
one good
part of the
word of
program.
advice for the guys, man. Whether they just got out, been out for a while. One good word of
Oh
advice
yeah,
for them.
shoot, man. I'm gonna stick to it, man. Hard work and dedication, man. You got to make your mind up. Don't be half in and half out, man. Be all in or be all out. But don't play games with yourself, man. You can't keep it real with nobody else if you ain't real with yourself.
Cool,
So,
cool.
be all in, stay committed, and hard work does pay off, man. Don't give up.
Again, bro, appreciate you. Much love, much respect. Uh, we wouldn't be going where we're going without you. Glad you're a part of the DNA. Oh, I have one other thing I want to talk to you about. So
What's up?
one of the things that we're starting, and because you're part of the original group at Cleveland, so we have this new initiative that's called a birth certificate for your sweet name, right?
A
So
birthday.
so you we'll sell you a birth certificate for your sweet name, which will put you in the registry, meaning
Okay.
that twinkles belong to you. Twinkles go into the rafter. You'll receive one of these, which is a certified birth certificate. So this one is for Al Massey, Granny
Yeah,
Panties.
I see it.
And what happens is your name basically goes into the rafters as if your jersey is retired. And if
There you
anybody
go.
else is given that name, you'll be contacted and
Oh yeah,
basically have a say and let them understand who the OG Twinkles is.
I like it,
So
man.
today for $30, if you would like to get one, we'll hook it up. Oh, and they're signed by the OG graduate, our COO, Fee Tran, and we will get this
There
in the
you-
mail to you. If
Yes,
you
sir.
wish to do this, you can go to our website, and we have the fund drive on there,
Mhm.
and just go through that, and we'll get that to you.
All
Again,
right, man. I'll definitely do it, man.
thanks, bro. I've always called you Doctor Warmth because I think from the year that I got out, you've always supplied jackets, and I think you're here today because you're bringing something that's going to bring warmth to these guys. I think being in Houston, a lot of us don't think about jackets, coats, and blankets and so forth. We thank you for that. But I guess I would ask you why.
Good question. And let me actually compose the answer. And I hate to say it usually doesn't hit me until there's a cold day, right? Because you're right, you don't think about jackets here. Um, but I look at the abundance that the universe has brought to me over the years, and why wouldn't I share that and try to make sure somebody else is just as comfortable on a cold day here as
That's a beautiful thing. I admire your heart, and I look forward to the day to where I can provide a new jacket, and I'm not just having to give my old jacket to somebody, but in a position to where I can every year be that blessing to somebody. Um, Again, I thank you for your heart. Oh yeah, one final question. So I remember a few years ago, John Shaw and I came and helped you move, and you had a dog that was the size of a small horse. Do you still have that dog?
I am. Now, unfortunately, Nelson timed out on me.
Oh
He
wow.
made it to about 10, but the giant breeds don't usually live much longer than that.
Okay, what kind of dog was that?
I, best guess would be a cross between a Great Dane and a Labrador
Yeah,
Retriever.
that was a huge dog.
Yeah,
That was a huge dog.
yeah.
John, we thank you for taking the time to sit with us for a minute to kind of join Chris and I. Anything you would like to share with the fellas before we go?
Just never give up, never
Never
say
give up.
die, never quit. Uh, I think I was talking with somebody the other day, and I'm always amazed at all the people that volunteer and that are within this group. And particularly, let's go to the volunteer side. And you got these guys with all these degrees and doctorates and all this sort of stuff. And I just think I'm the poster child. You don't have to be real smart. You don't have to be a great student. I barely got out of high school, barely got out of college, and lied and cheated a lot along the way, which I'm not proud of, but that is what happened. So persistence is the key for me. Just if you never stay down, always stand up. Just keep trying. This is the land of opportunity. Just stay after it, and you will find it.
John, I thank you, and I think that's a great segue into our next guest that I want to talk to. But first, we're going to start off with one of our alumni that was just a part of a development story that went out a couple of months ago. Many of you probably seen it. But if not, before I say much more about him, I'm going to allow him to introduce himself. Greg, welcome. Thanks for joining us this evening. If you will, take the time to let the people know who you are, sweet name, how long you been out, and a little bit about yourself.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Gregory LaBeet. Uh, my sweet name is Sweet Butter Pecan, and I got released in June of 2010. So this has been 10 years out. So where you want to take it from?
Wherever you want to go.
It's freestyle. Cool. I'm all right with that. So I got out in 2010, right? Uh, no work experience, no high school diploma. I dropped out in the 8th grade, right? So I didn't have anything to go off of. I just went out there and I looked around and I saw who was hiring. And Brand Energy and Infrastructure Services in Pasadena, Texas, which is a scaffolding, painting, and insulation company, they had a job fair. I got in line with like a couple hundred people. It took about 3 or 4 hours just to wait for the line to go down. And when I made it in there, I sat down with a gentleman to have an interview. Well, mind you now, I didn't have any work experience, any resume, anything that anyone else had. So I sat down with the gentleman at the table. He went over everything. He kept looking up and looking down because I didn't hide anything on my application. I put everything, burglaries, I put the aggravated assaults, I put that, you know what I mean? Because I didn't want them to find out later and come back and fire me over that, you know what I mean? So
Right.
he went down the application, kept looking up, kept looking down, and then he finally looked up and said, "You're hired. Look, what you did in your past is behind you. When you come out of prison, if you want to be successful, you need to come out knowing that you are not flawed. You know, what you did, you made a mistake. You know what I mean? You made some bad decisions, but those are just what they were, bad decisions and mistakes. Those did not define you. When you come out, you are new, and people are gonna be blessed to have people that come out like renewed, you know what I mean? Focused, energized and ready to go, man. People are gonna love that. And I came out with that attitude, and I really feel like that was a big part in why I just took off. Look, since I got out, I hit the ground running. I'm talking about like a prize-winning greyhound. I have not stopped. I have not looked back. I have not even broken momentum. You know, every single year after I got out, say I was making like, I don't know, I think I was making like 40 something thousand the first year. Next year, 60 something thousand. By my third year out, I was over six figures. And every year after that, I've climbed and climbed and climbed incrementally. And I'll say about my fifth or sixth year, I cracked 200. You know what I mean? And I have not stopped, man. 230, 240, 250. Do this every single year. You know what I mean? And my story is no like isolated incident. My story could easily be your story. You know what I'm saying? But it's all up here, though. You know what I'm saying? If you do the work inside before you come out, man, when you get out, man, you can go. You know what I'm saying? The only thing stopping you from your success is you and how much you prepare prior to coming out. Hey man, get yourself together. You know what I mean? And then step out there and whatever your heart desire, whatever you fantasize about, man, go and do that. You know what I mean? And it's never too late to say, man, you know what? I've been tripping with myself, man. I could really do more, man. Get out there and take care of it. You know what I mean? It's just that simple, man. The recipe's the same for anybody. I'm not special, man. No one's special that's like me. You could easily be this person.
That's right. And I'm going to give the middle to your backstory. Uh, because you in the history of PEP also have a part in that you was the first participant who was accepted in our new method of recruiting because you didn't see a recruiter to the unit. You were actually our very first essay applicant participant, and to say that from that essay and that application to where you are today, I would say that method, though may not have been perfect, was accurate. But another thing that I give you credit for because I feel like you pioneered a path for a few PEP brothers, and a couple of them are close to me because I think without you going the journey you went, I don't know that they would have had the courage or even the insight to go the route that they go, and that's Lance and Deshaun, who kind of followed you into the NDT field.
Yes, sir.
So
Um,
and you say you had no experience whatsoever,
0.0.
but you had an
I started
opportunity.
I started off scaffolding and painting and installation, which are, man, tedious jobs, and $10 to $12 per hour. Man, I had no experience in that whatsoever.
Hmm.
Yeah, I can run it down because I've also dealt with other people too, like Alex Lyles. I've dealt with what's it, Casey Stanley or something like that.
Yeah,
I even if I didn't bring them into the industry and they found their way there, I've mentored people. You know what I
right,
mean? And it's not even just PP participants; it's anyone that's willing to go that route. If you come this route, I could break everything down to you because I've hit the height of it. I can't go any higher. I made it that high. You know what I mean? Any job offer I get is between 55 to 65 bucks an hour, and that's 125 to 150 a day per diem. You know what I mean? That's untaxed money. So I can't go any higher. So if you call me and you ask me about any route, I can break everything down, point you in the right direction. I'm talking, I can connect you with the people that are power players in like whatever company, in whatever city. You know what I mean? And that's like how I'm valuable to those guys. And me going first and like making it my business to pay attention because I know other people are gonna come behind me. It's so easy. It's not burdensome for you to call me and ask me a question. People call me and ask me questions all the time, and it takes me like 2 3 minutes because I know all the answers. I
right.
paid attention. I didn't just stumble my way and make it to here. No, this was conscious decisions. And Lance, LaShawn, Alex, Casey, all those are my boys, and all of them could tell you. Anytime they've called Greg and asked them a question, I gave them solid advice, and all of them are flourishing.
I guess my
Mm-hmm.
next question to you is how do you balance the demand that work requires as well as your obligation as a husband?
So my wife, I'm gonna share something with you. I haven't told nobody. I haven't told my family yet because I don't want. It ain't time for me to tell them yet. But
Okay.
we're freestyling, so it's gonna come, and I'm gonna just let it out. I ain't gonna block it. My wife, she lives an amazing life. You know what I mean? Last week, y'all know Keith McJunkin from McJunkin and Real Estate. You know what I'm
Right.
talking about? Y'all can verify through him. We went down there to Crystal Beach, bam, purchased beachfront property. You know what I'm saying? 1 acre. You know what I mean? Her life is amazing. In probably about 8 months, we're gonna start on the construction of our $650,000 beach home.
Okay.
So my wife, she fine with me traveling. She fine with everything because anything that she had as a dream prior to meeting me, I've accomplished all of those things for her, and I'm expanding her. You know what I mean? Her horizons are wide open. She's talking about cookbooks and shows, and she's talking about all kind of things because of me. You know what I mean? And also, I never go to like countries where like she can't come, where like it'll be difficult for her to travel.
Right.
So every 2 weeks she comes out to wherever I'm at, and she spends the weekend. You know what
Right.
I mean? So we get the little time apart and we get the time together. It's like it's new every time I see her. So we have a beautiful thing going on here. You know what I mean? So that's basically our setup.
So one of the most important things I learned in PEP is never fail to do an ask. So I know that Fee Tran is watching this, and I know that he caught the same thing that I caught about that beachfront property, and
Mm-hmm.
that we do retreat every October. So Fee, I think we found us a participant that we can roach off of. We get ready to do operations retreat. We will be hitting you up. But
Yeah,
if you
Temple.
could give any piece of advice based upon the entirety of your life, not just since you've been released, and you had to talk to the Greg prior to prison, what advice would you give him?
Man, that's deep right there, man. Because I had a lot of flaws. I would tell Greg from back then to come out of your head, man. Oh my God. I used to, and I still do it some, man. I overthink. I overthink. I'm talking about, I don't care what it is. A probability of 0.001 of a percent chance of actually taking place. I would play even that scenario all the way out. You know what I'm saying? Come out of your head, dude. You can be in your head, but don't stay in your head long. Don't dwell on things too much. You know what I mean? I stress my own self out. You know? Yeah, man. Come out of your head and come back into the real world more than you go off in there, man.
That's
I
right.
would say that to my old self.
That's
Yeah.
cool. You know, I want to say this, bro, because I think every time that I've ever reached out to you or we've reached out to you with an opportunity, you've never said no. I just want to say that I thank you. I understand the value of your time. I'm proud of you, not so much for what you have or what you're earning, but for who you are as a person, who you are as a man. I'm glad and humbly call you my brother. You know, and I just want you to know, bro. You know, we here. I'm here personally. We here, organization. We here as a unit for anything you need, man. You know,
Yes, sir.
I'm thankful because I reached out to you about this, and even though you would have just been getting off work, your response to me was, "Give me 10 minutes to get off the bus, and I got you." And that spoke a lot to me, you know, because I know the demand, physically, time wise, that your job requires. And I appreciate you, bro. And that's why I'm not going to hold you up after 14 hours by keeping you on here for an hour talking to you when I could. But I appreciate you, bro. Continue to be a mentor. Continue to be a blessing to all the brothers who coming behind you, walking the path for which you started and blazed. And we love you, and you know where we at.
Hey, man, I really appreciate you, and likewise, Pat.
All right, bro. You stay blessed.
Likewise.
So I've asked Lewis Monroe, who was a peer educator in the Cleveland Bell facility, to join us to kind of give the perspective of inside the unit during the pandemic, since none of the in-prison staff has been able to go into the prison since March. So Lewis, first of all, introduce yourself to the people. You know, tell them your name, sweet name, uh,
Okay.
how long you been out.
Okay. So my name is Louis Monroe, aka Bismarck Buford, but you can call me Bubba Gum because I love shrimp. So at this time I've been out, I got out October 30th.
Okay.
So I can't say my anniversary was November 30th.
Okay.
So I've been out a whole month and
Uh,
I'm loving life, all doors has been opening up for me, man, and I can only thank God for that.
okay. So
But so to give
being
you the
that you
to
were
give
the most recent inside, paint a picture for us what it was like during the pandemic without in prison staff. What was the
okay,
morale
so
like? What was the interactions? What was the relationships? What was the atmosphere like?
so it was pretty at times it was uncontrollable as far as the participants until they actually saw that the brothers that was in there with them was actually trying to get them through the curriculum. Um, we kept trying to talk to the higher up as far as the warden, the captain, the lieutenants to see if we can get the PEP room open because we see that the brothers was getting restless. And we wanted to do something to entertain them to show them that, hey, PEP still exists.
Right.
So at times it was a little complicated. Brothers was mostly confused because they was hearing naysayers saying, "Oh, PEP is done with," and this and that. So we try to keep them entertained by letting them know that hey, PEP is never over with. See, we doing our best on our part to see that we can still go in there and just be, you know, it was more like a peer driven.
Okay.
See, we didn't have to have the staff there because we was already trained enough to know what to do and how to do it.
Cool. Cool.
And when they start realizing that, they started thanking us and telling us, hey, man, y'all doing a great job, which made us feel good that we feel like, you know what? In a position like this, we are trained to be a supervisor. So we know if we became a supervisor, we know we can run our own business if needs be. And so that you know what, Pat, that was a great experience for me myself.
Yeah.
Just knowing that I can do this without staff actually being there, and I was able to work out matters with the brothers so they would see that, hey, we serious about this program and we serious about you.
You know, and
as a
that's
servant
one
leader.
of the measuring sticks for, is what we doing really working? Because if it requires our presence, then we're not working. But if it can go through the storms in our absence and get back to a level of performing, then what we're doing is working just fine. You know, and I'm
Right, right,
glad that we have servant leaders on the inside who have just enough of the DNA till they can carry, they can execute, and they can keep it
right.
alive. You know, and my only concern is that we're going to stay out too long until all of you guys who carry the DNA are going to be gone, and we're going to basically have to
Right.
start from zero again. So let's flip the script a little bit, being that you've been out 30 days. How has
Okay.
that time inside helped you in the last 30 days out here?
Okay. Okay. So now, I characterize myself as an authentic man.
Okay.
So the way I communicate, the way I carry myself, the positive message I've been putting on Facebook for everybody to see, the type of brother that I have become, the 10 driving values that I have instilled in my life has really showed me that, hey, there's nothing you can't do if you don't put your mind to it. And I have
Right.
realized that. So being out, I noticed that doors has been constantly opening up for me. When I was in Houston, okay, it was a little slow, but I wasn't becoming impatient. I was still being patient, and I recognized that, hey, it's not nobody never said it was gonna be easy as soon as you got out. Things started coming together. I was working for a couple of other brothers, making a little money here and now and then. So when I moved back to where I was from, instantly, Pat, I got a job at Tyson Chicken.
Yeah, I need a chicken plug, bro. I'll come back. Always doing ask. Always doing ask. Call me a roach. I ain't tripping.
Oh, I guess. But see, I work in the high department. So what that is just to give you a little explanation about it. What it is they make leather out of it. It's hide from the cow that we send through solutions, and
You muted. You muted, Lewis.
we send it we send it the places that want to buy it. So it's made out of leather.
Okay.
So they do that themselves. And hey, they paying me 16, 20 hours. So I
Okay.
can't be
Y'all
mad at that.
y'all
And I'm
y'all
working
make
full time.
boots. Y'all make boots and jackets.
Well, what happens is when the stuff we just make the hide and clean it up for them, and then we ship it to the departments, and they make their own leather out of it.
Okay. 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 Pretty cool.
So you
Pretty
know what?
cool.
I can honestly say that God has been good to me. I have no complaints whatsoever. I know what I've been taught when I was in there, and the skills I have acquired while I was there. I use them out here, and I do the same thing that I was doing in there,
Good
and I
stuff.
keep that same mindset.
Good stuff. Well, I just want to tell you again, I appreciate all that you did to keep it going. All that you're
Okay.
gonna do to keep you going, and I will be watching, paying attention. I know that you've been working today, right? And
Yes.
we don't want to take you away from your family any longer. So I appreciate you. Give my regards to the family. Tell the wife hello. Hug the kids. Kiss the dog. I don't
Okay.
kiss the dog, bro. But I appreciate you, and thank you for joining us. All
Hey, no
right.
problem, Pat.
All right. Call
All right.
Greg. Call Greg and give him a hard time.
Yeah, I'm gonna do that. I'm gonna do that anyway.
All right, bro. Stay blessed.
All right, bro.